What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel! Welcome back to Danganronpa 2! It's time to look over what we missed in Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. Starting off with magical miracle girl Monomi, the minigame that everybody wants to see. Yay! Go ahead and change our equipment and then we'll get into the fighting. And this will actually explain why Monomi was so beat up at the beginning of Chapter 5. Because this boss, it ain't easy. Not enough about that. There is something that I had no idea happened in Chapter 5. Where I am right now, this is right after the trial. This is when we're going to go look at Nagito's last will. Hajime is outside and he said we should head over to the restaurant. This is after he saw the vision of Chiaki. If you go to every student's cabin, there will be a glitched message from the deceased. And not knowing this and just recording it just on my own free time, some of these absolutely broke my heart. Some of these mirror the last words of the deceased. Some of them are just some of your best memories of them. Tremble with fear, and I will die twice! Oh, that's not fair! Ah, Gundam! That's not cool. That one is sick. Teru wanted nothing more than to see what happened to his family's diner and to see his mom again. That is just mean-spirited. And of course, Nekomaru never ceases to make me laugh. Just do it and shit ends up in the glitch text. Now, everybody else, everybody who's still alive, they're fine. Hajime will just remark, I should probably get over to the restaurant to see Nagito's last will and testament. But just the other messages, it kills me because I absolutely adored these characters. And having not known this previously, coming back to this was like a kick in the face. Chiaki, I think you got that code wrong. But don't worry, we won't lose. Chiaki, that's not fair. Oh, I think this one actually... Yeah, that last part there, Miss Mahiru, that one kind of hit me hard too. That was Hiyoko's one and only friend on this island, somebody she could truly call a friend, and she missed her dearly. And also, Pekko's identity as young master's tool. That's also it's a bit of a confusing statement within her mind. Is she a tool or is she not? We only got to listen to one of your songs, Ibuki. The one and only song we got to listen to, and it nearly killed our eardrums. Let's look at Best Girl's cabin. She wants to make amends, and everyone needs to smile. Oh, this is killing me. I can't look at these. This isn't fair. So thank you to the person who pointed this out. I had no idea this happened. You get all the credit. I'm just here to show it off. Kane's still alive and kicking, so she doesn't get a special message. We've got one more person, and this one is kind of cool. Forgive me, love. Forgive me. Very devoted to her one true beloved. Now, it could have been me, could have been Junko, who knows? She may have loved us both, which means she swings in both ways. I was trying to see if there were any other Easter egg type things that we could look at. And there's actually one more Easter egg to show off during this last segment, because I went all over the island to places that we could go to just to see if there was more glitch text or anything. And I couldn't go anywhere because Hajime was like, gotta go to that restaurant. There's nothing in the lobby, but in the restaurant, the first opportunity you get, check on the photo gallery. We are always together. We're never alone. We're not alone. I can't stand it. But those are the last words of your fellow deceased students. And now, it's time for the fun part. Checking out all of the people's cabins. First thing you'll notice, look at that! We have all 30 Monokuma dolls. Finally collected them all. It certainly took a while. And, we get a reward, believe it or not. What do you got for me, Monokuma? Hey, it's my pleasure. So, what do I get?
Huh? Are you serious?
Monokuma knows the way of the game. Actually, it was technically my first time, but I did have to go back to Chapter 3 and get one that I missed. Sorry about that.
Special bleeding service!
Alright, so what do we get here? Oh my.
Shing!
Oh! Oh wow, so violent. Ah, but at least it's soft.
Nice!
We did good! What the fuck?! Take a screen of that. That's a unique sprite. That won't happen again. Alright, fine, one more.
Who knows?
No, I'm never satisfied.
Well?
You're just gonna give me an innuendo and leave? And even Hajime remarks, what bullcrap. That's all we get? Yes, for collecting all those, besides getting a trophy, that is all you get for collecting all 30 Monokuma dolls. Good job! You did it! Got yourself a couple trophies, one for getting half of them, one for getting all of them, and it was totally worth it. So seeing as how Byakuya, I actually went back to the bonus episode where we looked inside his cabin, and I realized I told everybody to just, see that in your own time. No, we'll just look at it again. Because he is actually going to play an integral part in the next bonus episode. He's got one rank left. And now that we've finished the game, we can actually go and see him again. So just a little refresher, refresh your memory, this is what his cabin looks like. And by the way, I had to go jumping through every single chapter to find an opportunity to hang out with these people inside their cabin. This also gives me a little bit of time to reminisce, just go back and see all the chapters and what everybody was talking about at that exact point in time. So Byakuya, still like your place. You're keeping well read, you're learning everything you can about this island. Good on ya. Good thing to have when you're a leader. The next one on the list, one that we actually haven't seen yet, is Miss Sonia Nevermind. Hers is pretty awesome. Let's see, Sonia. What do you got? Your cabin better be elaborate. Better be fit for a queen. And... Oh, dude! She completely redid her entire interior! I mean, we don't have marble walls, but she does. Man! This is a nice place! I mean, I want one of those. You can rest on it. Looks like it could be really comfy. I mean, me on any piece of furniture, I'm over 6 feet, so I basically drape over every single piece of furniture I have. But that looks really comfy. Nah, it's alright, let the peons do it. Princesses shouldn't even lift a finger. Nah, it's definitely nice to see you again, Sonia, and you really made this place extremely hospitable. I love it. I would say it's definitely fit for a queen. Let's head to another chapter and see what we can see. Next on the list is actually Kazuichi. I'm expecting mechanics. There's got to be some sort of mechanical device in here. Don't disappoint me. You know, kind of what I expected. He took down that little piece on his bed, so it's just an open mattress. Kind of figured there would be tools in here, so a giant toolbox. Looks like he's working on a car motor, or maybe that's the airplane motor. Maybe he was secretly working on the airplane motor while we were all busy killing each other. Oh, and I like the stereo system you got back there, dude. What are you playing? Wow! Every chapter, since the very beginning, he has been head over heels for Sonia Nevermind. That's hilarious. I guess some addictions you can just never get clean on. And he is addicted to some princess, to some ultimate princess, who wouldn't even give him the time of day. Very next on the list, I bet everybody wanted to see this one, Chiaki, your cottage. You were actually really hard to get a hold of just to see the inside of your cottage. A lot of these people, only had one event where they were actually at home. Oh yeah, that's what I expected. Game consoles all over the place, junk food, a disheveled bed. God, it's like they looked into my room. And she actually has a special hotspot. Believe it or not, you are able to see this poster of the midquel game before Chapter 3. Chapter 3, it's like a little Easter egg, but if you actually go into Chiaki's cottage earlier, I believe this is Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, you can go in and see the Ultra Despair Girls poster. Not bad. Oh, I can barely see. I know it's making out images on those cartridges. I just can't see it from here. Maybe I'll blow up the image so we can all see. Maybe it's a reference to something, maybe not. Something really interesting about Chiaki, believe it or not, is even though you can go into her cottage this early in the game, but when you actually speak with her, she is actually not feeling up to it. Any other time during this chapter, you can go see her if she's out and about, but not in her cottage. That's what was a bit weird to me. We got a few more cottages to look at. Let's go find them now. It shouldn't have taken this long. But hey, look at that. All the way in Chapter 5, we can actually see Fuyuhiko's cottage again. This is just a reiteration. We already saw it during the main Let's Play because people suggested that we see Fuyuhiko. So I just want to look at it again because it looks so cool. And still, I need to wonder, what are you drinking back there, Fuyuhiko? It looks kind of brandy-ish. Maybe a whiskey. Or maybe it's just apple juice, I don't know. You do hate milk. And I was actually looking up information about Fuyuhiko, and a lot of people compare him to the Elric brothers. Edward Elric. You have an eye patch now. He's got kind of the same color hair. It's not, gold blonde, but he definitely hates milk. He's definitely short. We've got one more. It should be two more, but we've got one more cottage to look at. All the way in Chapter 5, the first instance that you can go into her cottage, Akane. Is it going to be worth all of this buildup? Absolutely not. It is a friggin' pigsty in here. Oh, there's garbage all over the place. Looks like a little bit of junk food. I mean, she's got the sporty thing going. She's got a backpack, so maybe she's gonna go on hikes. Got a skateboard back there. She took apart her bed and only opted for the mattress. And all of her stuff is still in boxes, which leads me to believe she was too lazy to unpack everything. She also has hay bales back there, or maybe those are barrels. It would make sense if they were barrels. What are all the functions that Minimaru has? We'll never know, but at least he wisecracks. And now I need to let you in on some information. Nagito's cottage. I went back through every single chapter to try and find him when he was alive and in his cottage. It does not exist. Nagito, as a character, has been tied up for an entire chapter, an entire free time. He wasn't there in Chapter 1. Chapter 3, he was in the hospital for a lot of it, and he still wasn't in there. Chapter 4, we're all in the funhouse, so no goings there. And in Chapter 5, he's become a danger to everybody, so he's never in his cottage. It is impossible to see him in his cottage while he's still alive. But when he's dead, well, there's plenty of stuff in there, and we've already seen that during the main Let's Play. So unfortunately, that's it. His cottage will remain a mystery while he's alive. But dead, he's got plenty of fun stuff in there, including a deadly toxin. Thanks for that, buddy. But now, let's talk about Stage 5. The final Mono Beast. There's a reason Monomi was so torn up at the beginning of Chapter 5, because she had to fight the hardest Mono Beast by far. It is using Street Fighter moves. You are not seeing that wrong. This thing is fast. Not so fast that you can't run away from it, but it's actually kind of difficult to set up a tornado for it to get hit by. It also throws rocks, so it has a projectile. It also likes to pull an Akuma and completely destroy you. Yeah, that's a very hurtful attack. So what I would suggest is actually making a circle way in front of it and then lead it towards you. And I would say that's the easiest way. And when it starts running, please run away, because that means it's going to catch you and possibly pull another Akuma on you. Akuma, Monokuma. I'm surprised they haven't made that joke yet. But, a little bit of running around never hurt anybody, except for the Mono Beast. And down it goes. As far as the enemies, none of them are new. You're going to get a lot of repeat enemies, and you just see them in waves. And after you defeat that, and after you beat the game, you unlock the secret level. I wonder who that boss could be. Secret Stage 6. First of all, it's an assault on the eyes. But it's also wave after wave after wave of repeating enemies. All of these enemies you have seen before. There are no new enemies, except for the boss. But every second wave, you have to refight the Mono Beasts. They have half of their health that they did during their regular boss fight, but you have to remember how you fought them, and then just fight them again. Thankfully, the Mono Beasts weren't too tough in the first place, so this I want to say Tiger Mono Beast, he's going to go down really quick. And actually, I clocked it. This Mono Beast only lasted for like, I want to say 3 or 4 tornadoes, and then he was gone. They do not have a lot of health. And that's really good because you're fighting the same thing all over again. Wave 4, it's the comeback of the Snake Mono Beast. And then we have to kill these regular enemies that we've already fought before. Thankfully, the Snake Mono Beast just stays in the middle of the arena. It can still do its whip attack like that, but as soon as it pounces after you, it pauses. So you just need to create a circle, and then look at that, already dead. Barely any health. This one's going to be trouble. The Falcon Mono Beast, or whatever you'd like to call it, the Eagle, maybe. This was a nightmare when it was actually in its own stage. Not exactly a nightmare, but it was difficult to fight. It actually dive-bombed into the tornado, so I barely had to deal with it. Next wave, they start throwing these big bulky little enemies here, and those are kind of annoying. You have to take off their shields first and then kill the little monster inside. So I would suggest take out the horse Mono Beast, I guess we'll call him, and then you'll be good. Something I also learned is, if you press the rainbow attack as you're jumping on an enemy, like press them at the same time, you will actually deal 2 hits instead of the 1 that you would deal for jumping on the enemy normally. So that's kind of helpful. And wave 10, we've got the Akuma Mono Beast, the humanoid, the fighter, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this guy has the exact same attacks. You just fought him in the last stage, so it should be very familiar to you, his fight patterns and everything. But just know that him having half health is so helpful, because you could just be attempting to kill one of these guys, and then he'll accidentally run into your tornado, and there he goes. It's not really working in this part, but there we go, you should be gone. Yep, nothing to it. And a lot of these in-between rounds are kind of like gimme rounds. Like, they'll throw a bunch of enemies your way, but they won't be difficult to beat. But hey, look at that, on the final wave, you have to fight Monokuma himself. He's got a bunch of different attacks. The Spear of Gungnir is the one where you want to open up an attack to him, because he'll stay in one place and shoot spears at you, to which you could just run around him, make a rainbow around him, and attack him with a tornado. So I found that's the easiest way to hit him. He also has that, like a saw blade attack, where you just want to jump around him, or just jump above these little tornadoes, or saw blades, whatever you want to call them. He also has this bomb attack, which he only ended up using once, but if you're not close to him, he just stops. So you really don't have to worry about it. believe it or not, Monokuma barely has any health. It didn't take long, and even with the items I have equipped, it shouldn't have been that fast. Let me say that. But, yeah, that's Monokuma down. That is every stage in Magical Miracle Girl Monomi. We did it! We beat all the stages, and for beating all 6 of them, you get a trophy. There are a couple more trophies tied to this minigame. I'll be going over those later when we go for 100%. But that is the minigame. That is everything we missed in Chapter 5 and 6. If there is anything I missed, I don't think we missed anything else in Chapter 6 because it was all straightforward. And Chapter 5, I did my best to go back and get stuff during the episodes as they were going. So hopefully I didn't miss anything. Next time on Danganronpa 2, we're going to be getting into the social links. We got a lot of people to talk to, and it's going to be a blast. So I'll see you guys next time.